Folks, today's story out of the left coast fever swamp known as SFgate is a classic. The headline screams, reluctant billionaire, the elusive Craigslist founder is ready to talk. And who, pray tell, is the intrepid interviewer? Drew Magary. Yes, that Drew Magary, the same guy who once spent his days cranking out crude, juvenile, lowbrow nonsense over at Kissing Susan, that internet outhouse of NFL humor where the height of sophistication was imagining coaches exploding out of the locker room yelling obscenities. Now, Magri has graduated to the big leagues of San Fran Freak Show progressive media, and he's sitting down with Craig Newmark. Picture this. Craig Newmark, the guy who built Craigslist back in the 90s, was basically an email list for San Francisco nerds looking for couches and roommates, ends up an accidental rich guy. He never went full Silicon Valley cartoon villain. No private islands, no vanity presidential runs, no lecturing the rest of us from a yacht. Now, Newmark dresses like a schlub, gives away hundreds of millions to veterans and military families, funds journalism schools, and insists he's not even a billionaire anymore because he poured his equity into a foundation. Sounds almost responsible, almost normal, which of course cannot stand in Magary's world. So what does Magary do? He circles, he prods, he shares his own opinions as if anyone tuned in to hear the former Philistine humorist hold forth on the ruling class. He keeps trying to steer the conversation toward the usual progressive checklist. Tax the rich harder, governments must do more, the system is broken unless it matches his worldview. You can practically hear the subtext. Come on, Greg, just give me the Orange Man bad line. Say something about Trump. Confirm that the real problem in America is the Orange Man. Now, Magary wants that soundbite like a dog wants a bone, but Newmark, he stays measured. He talks pigeons named Ghostface Killer. He talks helping vets through the Bob Woodruff Foundation and Blue Star families. He talks knowing his limitations. No red meat for the resistance. Frustrating for the interviewer, no doubt. Here's the delicious irony that Magary and SF Gate crowd would prefer you never notice. While Magary was off in the mid to late aughts, inventing ever more elaborate bathroom humor and fictionalizing coach monologues for Kissing Susie, Craig Newmark was actually under the gun. Not for some right-wing conspiracy, but from the full force of the Obama administration's Department of Justice. Eric Holder, Obama's self-described wingman, and a chorus of state attorneys general were hammering Craigslist over their naughty adult services section, the old back page ads, pressure campaigns, public shaming, congressional hearing threats, activist groups meeting with Holder himself about trafficking. Craigslist eventually shut the whole category down in 2010 under that sustained assault. And good for them. But Newmark was getting drawn and quartered in the public square by the very progressive machinery that Magary's media ecosystem cheers for, while Magary was busy perfecting the art of crassness. That's the media double standard in high definition, ladies and gentlemen. A tech founder who built something useful, kept it simple, gave away the money, and tried to stay out of politics gets the soft focus, reluctant billionaire treatment until the interviewer starts fishing for the partisan gotcha. And the real history of government pressure under Holder gets memory hold because it doesn't quite fit the narrative. Newmark's out there funding practical help for military families and cybersecurity. Magary's still chasing the culture war applause line. This is the way the left coast press works. They'll polish the resume of anyone who might eventually mouth the correct opinions, and they'll ignore the inconvenient timeline where their own side was the one swinging the hammer. Don't fall for it. The truth is usually a lot less tidy than the columnist's preferred script. That's where we are today in America. We'll be back, and we hope you will too.